Hello everyone. It's your host, Lightning Shadows. And if you hear a slight noise in the background, that is my fan. It is like 95 degrees outside, so I do apologize for that background noise if you can hear it. But anyway, this is my top 5 sexy monster cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! And when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! I haven't done it since I was a child, so keep in mind that the stuff that I'm about to tell you might be some outdated information. I'm not a CG or a TCG player or whatever they call them nowadays. If I played Yu-Gi-Oh! It's strictly on console or a PC now. But without further ado, let's just get right into this. I'm going to start from number 5 going all the way up. But before I begin this, start with number 5. I got a little bit of a history lesson. Maybe that's shocking to people or not. Stick around and you might find out what it is. Anyway, at number 5 we have, I'm going to start with Maiden with the Blue Eyes. This card came out in 2013 on the 9th day of December. Now, I didn't know much about this card until I looked on the TCG list. It interests me because it looks just like a character from a game series I play called Fire Emblem. Now, the real name of this card is Kushina, or Kisera. Kisera is her real name. And she's supposed to be the lover of Seto Kaiba back in the Egyptian days. She died and gave her spirit to the dragon tablet of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. She was the Dragon Maiden. And that's how Kaiba became obsessed with the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, that's probably not important for people who don't watch the anime or people who might not care, but that's a little detail that I've come finding, digging in through the website or whatever. They didn't have enough time to put all that subplot in there. But back to the Fire Emblem comparison. This is actually closely related to a character from Fire Emblem 7 by the name of Nin Nin. Nin Nin is a dragon, or a female dragon girl. She's what they call a Manakete. She's able to transform using a stone into a dragon. There's different types of dragons in that world. However, the only reason why I'm comparing these two characters right next to each other is because they're Corbin copies of each other. It's very hard to distinguish the two differently from each other. If you look at them and put them side by side, you can't really tell a technical difference. And I think personally Konami had stole this design and made it a Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster card. It wouldn't be the first time Konami has stolen a project or stolen something from another company. Now, I say stolen and you ask what's my proof? Well, this card was released 2013 on the 9th of December. Fire Emblem 7 came out 2003, I believe. 2003. I ain't played this much until my teen years, but this game was released 2003. So the designs of Nin Nin was already there before they made the Maiden with the Blue Eyes. And I have love and hate for this card. Hate because when my brother used it, he get a free Blue Eyes, and it was hard to get off the field without triggering her effect or whatnot. But she is a beautiful card, and she does remind me a lot of Nin Nin. That's why I put her on number 5 of this list. And I started with her first because it was a lengthy explanation of why she's up here. So let's move on with our next number. At number 4, we have Ejection Fairy Lily, and I have a lot of good memories with this card. The reason why it's number 4 on this list is because it's a very cute card. I mean, just look at her. It's a beautiful card. No matter what game I played, I've always made sure that I had at least one copy of this card because it gave me life points. I know you're saying that its defense is trash or whatever, but I do enjoy the sight of her even if they censor this card like they do all the other American version of the cards. But it still was fun to find different ways to play her, keep on the field, and troll people. Yeah, that's right. I was one of those guys that'll not stack my deck, but I'll definitely build a wall to keep you at bay and build something like the trap cards that spells death or something like that. Oh, and I like to play Countdown, and I was pretty much worse than the Seeker from Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a living Seeker without the Jar of Greed and all that other stuff, without those tricks up my sleeve. But I like to run gimmick cards like this or luck based. So it's nothing more thrilling than gambling, and this is one of the best cards to gamble with. I mean, I would encourage anybody to have this specific card in their deck. Now, I would suggest that you put a beefy monster out there, one with priority to attack that specific monster. That way you control them real good. But I'm pretty sure the pros have already found a way around this, so nice try, I guess. Whatever, let's move on. At number 3, we have Vampire Vamp. I love this card's design, specifically because it's a vampire themed card. And honestly, I love anything that's themed like Halloween, like witches, warlocks, anything that has to do with magic, spells, and all that stuff. As long as it's like a witch on a broomstick or one of those typical things that you see in Halloween, it actually gets me going. My whole entire deck, when I really started getting into Yu-Gi-Oh, was zombie themed or vampire themed. It has something to do with the darkness pretty much. Especially playing those Castlevania games, I guess they kind of got into me. But anyway, I chose this card because it was one of the cards I always had in my zombie deck, because it works hand in hand with the combo that I was playing. The Summon of Vampire Genesis and Vampire Prince and the Vampire Queen and stuff like that. So I even ran Foolish Burial and all the stuff that had to do with the dead, because I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. If you ever watched Vampire Diaries and Originals, which I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched the entirety of it, but I do love some of the characters on there. I'm not a die-hard fan like my brother, but I hope that he appreciates that I put a vampire themed monster on here, as he probably will be reviewing this later. I would like to know his actual opinion about this. But that's neither here nor there. We're here to talk about some sexy monster cards. So I don't know where y'all would place this, but I definitely had a hard time placing this on number 3. I was gonna originally make this number 2, but then I saw another card that was deemed worthy of being number 2. It's not another vampire themed card, but you know, this one still has a special place on my heart. Every time I run the zombie deck or a dead deck or a dark deck or even a fiend deck, this card is somewhere in there. Now, to be 100 with you, I haven't always built around its effect. It's not a vanilla monster. I'm a damn fool for not doing that in the first place, but I just play it because it's one of those cards that I love. It's one of the top 5. All of the cards in this top 5 list are cards that I play, except the Dragon Maiden, not that one. But all the other cards in this list are cards that I basically have played once and have very much enjoyed it. I encourage anybody to play with this card as well, especially if you got a dark theme deck. How time flies, how time flies. Anyway, we are at number 2. And number 2 on this list, I wasn't aware of this card's existence until yesterday, but this apparently is a Dark Magician Girl archetype that I had no idea existed until just recently, like I said. Anyway, this is Apprentice Illusion Magician. She is just as strong as Dark Magician Girl with a card effect that I can't read. I haven't put it on the screen yet. You're probably reading it now. I've never been behind a Dark Magician Girl in general, so that's probably why I didn't know she had an archetype. I think she's overhyped. I mean, yeah, she's cute and all, but every time I ask somebody what's their favorite female monster card, everybody typically goes with Dark Magician Girl, mainly because she is kind of cute, but more so she's familiar. And I want to jump out of that familiarity right now to bring in something fresh, something new, something different. And her design sticks out to me like a lot. Like, her resemblance to Dark Magician Girl is uncanny. self where she has like smooth caramel skin, and I'm loving that. But altogether, all in all, you never hear about the archetypes because Dark Magician Girl outshines them. We got different variations of Dark Magician Girl before you actually found out about the archetypes. I just think that she's over, I wouldn't say over sexualized, because I mean, I don't see her wearing a bathing suit or anything, but I do think she's overhyped because people like to throw her in everybody's face over and over and over again. I mean, when have you seen another Dark Magician Girl outside the TCG games besides looking it up? I've never even heard of this freaking card until, like I said, of yesterday. And I thought that, you know, maybe it's time to freshen it up, which is why she's here on this list. I mean, she is cute enough to hold her own, and she has the attack and defense points for what I scanned through to actually hold her own. I can't wait to read what her card effect is. I'm going to look pretty stupid because I'm not going to read that card effect now because I can't see it. And on top of that, I haven't read the other ones up till this point, so I feel like it's irrelevant. Anyway, I can't really say nothing about a card I never played, so we're gonna move on to the honorable mentions. I'm just gonna let you guys stare at this for a little bit longer, and we're gonna change it now. Okay guys, we finally made it close to number one, but before I reveal to you who number one is, we are gonna do some honorable mentions, and this may surprise you. But starting off on this honorable mentions list, we have a monster card called Guardian Ethos. And if you don't recognize this female monster card, this is the female monster card that defeated Yami Atem and the duel with Raphael. She was the one when he was she was the one who slain him when he was corrupted by the Seal Orichalcos. This was a beautiful card that I didn't have really long to look at because I really didn't pay attention to that episode. I don't think that lost count against Yugi because it was a filler arc. Nobody really counts that. And it wasn't any tournament or anything going on, so it was like an unofficial loss. But people say do or don't, that depends on who you're talking to. Up next, we have Cyber Tutu. Now this sweet little pink thing reminds me of Sakura from Naruto. Cyber Tutu started in the regular Yu-Gi-Oh! She was played by Taya, I believe, and when she was fighting for Yugi to get his cards back, or something like that. I just remember it was played by Taya. This was a beautiful card that we didn't get to see much of because Taya did not battle as much. She was trash. She was just used as an info dump like everybody else said, and like everyone else has said before me. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the next person, who is Harpy Lady. Now I'm not sure which Harpy Lady is because it's a dozen of them. I know it's not the original Harpy Lady card, but it is in the Harpy Lady archetype. So there's plenty of them. We have Harpy Sisters, we have 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure how many numbers that it really goes up to. This is a picture that I found, and I believe she is called the Harpy Dancer. She's a beautiful card, which is why she gets an honorable mention. Harpy cards don't really get like out there enough, and this was an archetype played by Mai Valentine, who is obviously a popular character for obvious reasons. That is all I have for my honorable mentions list. Sorry guys, no Dark Magician Girl. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for that, some dislikes, some "oh, what the hell were you thinking" comments, but like I said before, I am tired of hearing and seeing that card, so I'm just not going to do it on this list. Maybe the next top 5 it may cut it, but not for this top 5. Without further ado, let's get to number 1. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for this moment for fucking ever. We are at number 1, And number one at the number one spot is Silent Magician. She is a goddess. I love this card. Since I first summoned this card, I've never let it out of my sight. This is one of my favorite cards. It's beautiful, it is elegant, it's just breathtaking for me. This card is so unique, and Duel Links alone, it has its own animation. That's saying something, because only boss monsters get theirs, and I'm just so happy that they took time to show me how special my favorite card is by making it, putting it up there and giving it some animation. They censored that card because this card, well, it's not a card, it's an image of it. I didn't put the actual card in there, but the card itself has been censored because it doesn't have window hips, apparently. Those little cutouts that you see of her leg right there, they censored that. Apparently showing a little leg as her being a whore or something like that, and you can't have that. They censor shit that doesn't make sense. Fuck you, Konami. There is nothing wrong with her outfit. Some people may say that she's not showing enough, but she's out here to prove a point that you can look classy and kick ass at the same time. You do not have to dress slutty to actually make it to a status of power or beauty or anything like that. I love this card, dude. I'm thinking about playing that game right now. Honestly, if I had to choose it, I might have to actually, if I came across a woman as alien as this in real life, yeah, I'll leave my girlfriend for her in an instant. I'm probably going to have to add that part out later because I shouldn't have said that. But anyway, it's not overhyped like Dark Magician Girl, and it doesn't see a lot of play or get a lot of love like it should. But that just means it's more for me to brag about and more for myself. I'm pretty selfish when it comes to those kind of things. Anyway, let me know what your favorite monster is. Maybe we can start a conversation. Give me your top 5 list of monsters you think are good looking or are strong. It doesn't have to be about looks per se, even though it's about top 5 of sexy monster, female monster virtue. I mean, it's up to you, to each their own. Every monster is beautiful in their own way. Also, it's not going to be just the top 5 of beautiful monsters, but also my favorite monster cards on the next top 5 list. No Dark Magician Girl, as I said here before, but maybe you might see her in the future. I do like that card, but I think it's overhyped, and I think it would be a cliche if I put her at number 1 when there's other monsters that needs just as much shine as she does. So if you ever come across this card, you know, just try to run this card through. I mean, you could build around this card. It is a unique card. It even has a special card effect on it. It's probably a bullshit effect. I didn't even bother reading the card. I was just fascinated about the image of the card alone. I have played this card in a Yu-Gi-Oh game before, but I never had a training card version of this card. I don't really need to. As long as I'm playing with it in any format, I'll be satisfied. Well, anyway, that is my top 5 list of beautiful female monster cards that didn't get enough shine. So let me know what you think. Put it down in the comments section. Like, subscribe, and let me know whatever content you would like to see up here next. And maybe I might put that into the near future. Anyway, I gotta head out. Peace out. Actually, guys, there was a quick mistake. I wanted to correct it. When I said that Taya was the one that used Cyber 22, I was incorrect. My mind had slipped me, but it reminded me at the last second that it was a character named Alexis Rhodes from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX that used Cyber 22. Alright, I gotta go. See ya.